I will say, I always give 3 words: clarity, honesty, and willingness. Be clear about what you want. Be honest about what it's going to take to get there. And then be willing to do that work. So if you are a young boy or girl out there who wants to be a personal trainer and your goal is to move to LA and become a celebrity personal trainer specifically, you have to be very intentional about the steps that you're taking to get there. So for myself, when I knew that I wanted to open my own studio, when I got my first job as a personal trainer, because I didn't start out off the bat working for myself. I got my first job as a personal trainer after I graduated from school and became certified and did all that. And I specifically looked for a smaller studio that was privately owned so that I would be able to have a relationship with the owners in such a way that I could learn from them about what they did to get to the place of ownership. So I did not go and work at Bally's or go and work at 24 Hour Fitness or any of those places. Nothing bad about those places or the people who work there, but because I was clear about what I ultimately wanted, I aligned myself with opportunities that would move me closer to that. And so I was able to talk to the owners. They gave me the books that they read about preparing to open a studio, and I saw the ins and outs of, how difficult it can be and the challenges and memberships and all these different things. And that prepared me for my next step. And I gave myself a timeline. I said, I'm only going to work here for a few years. And then when it was time for me to go, thankfully, a few of my clients were willing to go with me. And so I started off with a small client base and I built it from there. And every successive step that I took after I left that place was getting me closer to having my own facility. So if your goal is to work with celebrities, then you have to align yourself. You have to do the work. They're looking for a very specific type of person, very specific, meaning physically, you have to look a certain way because that's Hollywood is very much aesthetic in a lot of ways. The relationships, so similar to what I just said about my 16-year-old self, building those relationships. That may mean where you hang out socially, who you associate yourself with, all of those things. Like, you have to be very strategic about how you insert yourself into certain environments that will prepare you for what it is you ultimately want. So I won't say that it's not realistic, because I don't think that there's a such thing as not realistic. I mean, you can do what you want to do if you set your mind to it and you're willing to, do that work. Similar to what you said, it's just about being clear from the beginning, and then being honest with yourself. And so that may mean, you don't think you're going to move to LA and then bump into somebody on the street and then all of a sudden you're going to be, that's not how it's going to go. Usually the people that you see doing what they're doing, there's years of commitment behind that. And that's why I think it's important for us to tell our stories. There's years of commitment, whether it be school commitment and getting certified and, building those relationships, or, sacrificing certain whatever social events so that they can place themselves in alignment with the people who they need to know to be here or whatever. All of that is, I'll give an example. Kim Kardashian, worst example. I'm not a fan of hers. However, if you've seen her over the years and watched the trajectory of her career, she didn't just end up as Kim Kardashian. She started as the friend of a friend of a friend who was somebody that was somebody. And she knew, through however she knew, ultimately that she wanted to be famous for whatever. Famous for being famous is what they say that she is. And it was her strategic alignment with certain people in relationships and being in certain places, seen with whomever, that allowed her even to get a foot in, that people would care. That people would even care about whatever she's doing, right? And so nothing is for nothing. Everything is by divine appointment. You are the co-creator of your life. You get to determine, I say life is about chances. You determine how many you take, but not how many you get. So if you're going to be out there taking chances, make sure that they make sense. You have to be able to take risks without being reckless. And whatever your goal may be, particularly if it is to be a personal trainer for celebrities out here, then you have to be clear about the trajectory for that thing. It doesn't just happen because you live in LA. You have to be intentional. And I can't give you a step by step 1, 2, 3 about how to do that, But I do know clarity, honesty, and willingness. I do know that. If you're clear about that's what you want to do, and you're honest about the work that it's going to take, whatever nights of studying that you got to do to be prepared to pass the test, to become certified, and whatever other things, and you're willing to do that work, and you're willing to, you know, bump in and get to the club or whatever you got to do to get aligned with these people, then go on. That's what you got to do. And so then go on and do that.
Thank you for watching A Wise Way. Subscribe to stay updated, share to pass the knowledge, or view our other videos on the left.